The images are horrendous. So much hate. Such brutal acts people committed against one another. People trying to live, work, and raise their families. Our grandfathers and great-grandmothers. The Holocaust is indeed world history, but it's not ancient history, and it's clear that hate is still alive and well. But hate doesn't start with a gun or a knife, or bombs or tanks. It starts with words.
I'm a victim. I'm a survivor. I'm a mourner.
A gunman armed with an AR-15 assault rifle.
7 of my congregants were shot dead in my sanctuary. It starts with speech. Words of hate.
In the next hour, join us as we explore the genesis of hate. We'll look at spiking rates of anti-Semitism. We'll explore civic participation and whether American democracy is at risk, where and how misinformation and disinformation gets its start, whether it's instructive to look to the past when it comes to the future.
Isn't there a chance for good? The answer is yes, there is.
And perhaps most importantly, what possible solutions are out there for all of us as we look ahead.
We will rebuild. Just stop the hate. Don't say it.
Holocaust Warnings, American Anti-Semitism and Extremism. Welcome to a very special program here at WVIA, during which we intend to magnify an important and often very difficult conversation. About the Holocaust, yes, and other parts of world history many people would rather not think of. About what's happening in today's America, and about what any of us might be able to do in our own communities. We are honored to welcome 4 esteemed panelists to the WVIA studios to help us wade through this, and I would like to introduce them now. Dr. David Myers is a distinguished professor of history in the UCLA History Department. He's the author or editor of more than 15 books in the field of Jewish history, and he is also a Scranton native. Sister Carol Rittner, Distinguished Professor Emerita of Holocaust and Genocide Studies at Stockton University in New Jersey, and the author or editor of 21 books and numerous essays about the Holocaust. She's also a member of the Religious Sisters of Mercy. Dr. Alex Alvarez is a professor in the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona. His main areas of study are collective and interpersonal violence. He's also a published author on the subject who's presented research across the U.S. and Europe, and the founding co-editor of the journal Genocide Studies and Prevention. And Dr. Kelly McFall is professor of history and director of the honors program at Newman University in Wichita, Kansas. His professional interests lie in the history of violence, especially comparative genocide. He's also moderator of a podcast, New Books in Genocide Studies, where he reviews new books and interviews the authors and editors. Certainly an impressive group, and we welcome you all to WVIA. We're going to start with David about hate and why that is so hard to define. What is it?
Yeah, well, it has vexed and perplexed scholars for a very long time. The precise definitions we know of, a lot of hate-adjacent notions like prejudice, bias, discrimination. But what is hate? And the best that I could offer is that hate is an amalgam of affect or emotion on one hand, belief, the belief that somebody is something other, and then the third piece, action. And those 3 pieces work together to really portray someone else as a kind of indefinable and a fixed kind of personality, something that can't be changed. It's not what they do, but who they are that matters when one comes to hate. And what really becomes dangerous is when that personal view of someone or something becomes interpersonal, becomes shared, becomes imposed on someone else. And what becomes even more dangerous as we sort of ascend the scale of danger is when the interpersonal becomes societal. And society as a whole castigates, vilifies, and imposes this sensibility of hate on others.
And we're there, you think?
I think we're there in many, many ways. I think we are at a critical point in the history of this country in terms of the degree of collective hate and extremism.